Welcome, everyone. This is Tuesday Tips. And for those of you just stopping by or wondering if this video might be something that would pertain to you, 2025 is going to bring a lot of changes to Medicare benefits. So if you or an aging loved one that's receiving Medicare, next year is going to be very impactful. There's going to be changes as far as how medications are paid for. There's going to be a lot of changes in benefits, especially if you have a Medicare Advantage plan. So stay tuned if you'd like to know. And let me tell you, this is not the year to throw your Medicare 2025 book from the Medicare from the government in the garbage, because there's a lot of information in there that may impact you. And so we're going to talk about some things to talk to your advisor about if you're considering maybe changing plans, because like I said, things are changing for all of us. My husband and I are both on Medicare, and our plan is currently changing big time. So stay tuned. Let's go ahead and we'll jump in. My name is Pam Dunwald. I am one of your nurse advocates from Your Nurse Advocates Consulting, and we are outpatient advocates that work with adult children of aging parents, as well as those aging adults, to help them navigate the healthcare system and look at ways to put plans in place to manage their golden years. So let's go ahead and jump in. So the first thing is for 2025 is the Part D drugs. Now this is actually a good change for a lot of people. The government is mandating that there is a $2,000 cap on out-of-pocket expenses for Part D drugs that will be implemented, and that's going to eliminate what the insurance advisors call the donut hole. Once this cap is reached, the beneficiaries, the Medicare recipients, will not have to pay copays or owe coinsurance for the rest of the year. So that's huge. So if you're making, if you have some of the drugs like Eliquis, Xarelto, some of those drugs where there's a higher copay, once you hit, if you're paying $200, $350 a month for your medications, that could be July. You've already maxed out on your $2,000. So after that, you don't have to pay any more for any medications. It's like you've reached that catastrophic level, and you don't have to pay any more. So that's a good benefit. The other thing that's going to be implemented right along with that is that they're going to offer payment plans. So what does that mean? So say, for example, you're going to have $2,000 worth of copay for medications for the year. You can actually take that $2,000 or whatever your total copay is for the year and break that up into smaller payments. Now you're going to pay that same amount for all 12 months of the year, but you're going to be able to break that down into smaller payments rather than to make, say, for example, pay that $200 or $350 every month, and then after July it's free. You can actually divide that by 12 months, so maybe it's $125 or $150 a month. So you can turn that into more affordable payments. So those are some really great options that are coming with Medicare. The other one is, in regards to medication, is biosimilar drugs. And what that is there's going to be, so for people that take the biologics, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and take a peek at the biologics here. And what biologics are is for some people that take medications such as, let's see, here are some examples. So Neupogen, Rituxan, Enbrel, Procrit. There's some cancer medications, some medications for rheumatoid arthritis, Remicade. There's a lot of these medications that are called biologics, which means they're not chemicals. They're not created chemically, but they're more from biologic, made up from body cells and tissues and things like that. So that's why they call it a biologic. Well, the biosimilar drugs are somewhat similar to what you would be in a generic form. So they offer cost savings. So they're typically less expensive than their brand name biologic counterparts, which can lead to significant savings for both patients and the healthcare system. So So that's going to give people increased access to these type of medications, and lower costs can actually make these treatments more accessible to a broader range of people who might otherwise be unable to afford a biologic therapy. So that is, and people ask, well, are they the same? So comparable efficacy and safety, the biosimilars are really rigorously tested to make sure that there's no clinical meaningful difference between the biosimilar and the actual biologic. So the same thing, the same safety, purity, potency should be similar as the original biologic. So by introducing the biosimilars, now they have to be FDA approved, that everything has to go through the same process of approval. But to have the introduction of the biosimilars, this can also stimulate a competition in the market with the drug companies, encouraging further innovation, development of new therapies, and also making prices more competitive. So there's going to be broader treatment options. So with more options that are available, the healthcare providers can really tailor treatments more effectively for their patients' needs. So that would be the thing about, the biologics. So that kind of wraps up kind of the medication part of that. And let's continue to talk about what some of the other changes are and how that's going to impact you. So the Medicare Advantage plans. So now you can have straight Medicare, which means you don't have any other coverage. You may purchase a Part D, a drug plan to go with that. But Medicare alone is like a major medical plan. You can have multiple co-pays, or if you go into the hospital frequently, that is really the basic coverage. Then the intermediate or the middle of the road coverage would be your Medicare Advantage plans. And those are run by insurance company. They take your Medicare Part B money from Medicare, use that towards your cost of your plan, and then they have an additional cost that you pay out of your pocket. And so a lot of these plans differ based on your financial status. And again, but they're regular insurance companies that manage your Medicare, but they have to follow the Medicare guidelines. So all these changes and everything are impacting these insurance companies. So one of the downside is that we're seeing in 2025, a lot of the insurance companies that have Medicare Advantage plans are reducing benefits in other areas, such as dental, vision, your card that you can get over-the-counter things, gym memberships, all those kind of nice extras that the Medicare Advantage plans have. Is they're reducing those benefits because they're trying to find a way to recoup, so to speak, their losses that they're going to be mandated with the $2,000 cap on medication. So a lot of different insurance companies are managing these things different. So that's why it's really, really this year is really important, maybe to meet with your advisor and check out some other plans. My husband and I are on Medicare Advantage plans, and we certainly are going to be doing our homework because our benefits are going to be greatly impacted for 2025. And so some of the things that we can do to get ready for your advisor. We're not an insurance advisor. We cannot recommend products or anything like that. But what we can do is we can help you be prepared to help ask the right questions and make sure that your advisor has all the information they need to recommend a plan that's best for you. So one of the most important things that we have to remember is it is against regulations. Your advisor that's going to discuss Medicare plans with you cannot ask you healthcare related questions. They cannot ask you if you have a chronic health condition. They cannot ask you if you're on any tier 2 or tier 3 or medications that might put you at higher medication costs, such as, the Xarelto and the Eliquis, which are very common blood thinners now that the doctors like to use, like for atrial fib or for history of blood clots, embolisms, things like that. But they are a higher tier. They're not a generic. And so most people pay quite a bit of extra out of pocket. So if you have some of these things now, if you share this information with your insurance advisor, your Medicare advisor, they can now have that information, use that information to help you choose the right plan for you, but they cannot ask you. So it is okay for you to be upfront and say, hey, I'm on Eliquis or Xarelto, I'm on a biologic, or I'm on one of these medications. So it's important to me that maybe Eliquis is on a formulary, or maybe you take Xarelto and a certain plan has Eliquis. You want to make sure you have a plan that the Xarelto is in the formulary. Some insurance plans may have both. And I'm just using that because those are common, more expensive medications. So I'm just using them as a common example. So all the insurance companies are reacting differently to this $2,000 cap that they have to cover all medication costs once you reach that $2,000 level. And so they are all adapting their other benefits around that. So this is a really good time to shop around. I mean, if dental is very important to you, you may need to have to look at maybe a dental rider, or maybe find a plan that may not have reduced their dental benefits as much as they've reduced maybe something else that maybe isn't as important to you. So you need to determine, your lifestyle. Are you staying home? Do you snowbird? Do you have any chronic health conditions? Are you on any expensive, medications? What is your lifestyle look like? Is it important for you to stay with your own doctor? Changing plans, especially in a Medicare Advantage plan, if you're changing plans, that may mean in some instances that if you're going to pay more for an out-of-network doctor, that may make a difference. Now, there are some plans that may have the same cost, copay per visit and ER visit and specialist, whether you're in network or not. So these are important questions to ask. If I change plans, is it going to cost me more to go to the doctor? That's another great question to ask. And so just take some time to think about what's important to you. What is the top 3 things that you feel that you need to get covered, and that you want to have better coverage than others, so that the Medicare advisor can help you choose the right plan that's going to best meet your needs. And again, one of those things to consider, like I mentioned, is whether or not staying with your doctor is very important to you. And some people don't want to change doctors. So that might, you want to have a plan that your doctor is in network, or you have a plan where whether you're in network or out of network, you're not going to pay more to see the doctor. So these are some of the things. I'm just going to run back and just check my list one more time, because I think I'm missing one thing here. Yes, I am. So the last change for 2025 with the Medicare recipients is mental health access. So this is another good thing. So more mental health professionals will be able to enroll as Medicare providers. So that's going to expand access to health services. And we all know that we need to be able to provide more and better mental health services for our aging adults, as well as the rest of us. So I think that's another real important change that's coming up. So feel free, if you have a question, instant message me, direct message me. I'd be very happy to answer a question, Lynn and I would. Or if there's a topic that you're wondering, just reach out or post a question. We'll get those answered for you. But again, like I said in the beginning, this is the year that you really want to pay attention to your benefits. When you get the information from your current insurance, like whether it's your supplement plan or whether it's your Advantage plan, you want to make sure that you know what the changes are next year. So if you're not happy with those changes, maybe it's time to go shopping again for another plan. And I know that can be a headache, and nobody wants to go through that, but this is going to be one of those years where it may make really a big difference for you. And the bottom line, and why we wanted to share this, is we don't want anybody to be caught with surprises. So when next year rolls around, you just think everything's going to be pretty similar. And then you're like, oh my gosh, well, they're only paying $200 for glasses instead of $750, or instead of $750 towards dental, Now, without extra dental coverage, they're only giving me $300. So those are the kind of things that we're seeing that are going to change for 2025. So we just want you to, again, not get caught off guard. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we are going to sign off. And if you have any questions, I know this is an important topic, but you can, again, just to recap, you can share all the health information that you want with your Medicare advisor willingly. They just cannot ask you. They can't ask you that when they're looking at the plans unless you share that with them. So thanks for the thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And and it is a cousin. So thanks, Kathy. I really appreciate that. So if anybody has any questions, just reach out, but we'll wrap up and we will have the replay available. So I'll post that. So if you needed to share that with anyone that needs to get this information, we will have that YouTube video accessible, and we'll share that probably in the next day or two. So with that being said, take care, everybody. Have a great evening, and we'll talk soon in the next Tuesday Tips.